YouTube, welcome to the final cast of the day. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are up on the final hour. 4 casts today. This is the fourth one, ladies and gentlemen. And this one, we decided we need to bring our good old friend Dragothien in again. I really loved casting with him, duo casting with him during Osiris League last season. And we feel like this match is going to be a really interesting one for both of us to kind of sharpen back our skills, get together into the groove of duo casting. This might be a thing that will happen sooner rather than later. Welcome everybody in the chat. What's up, John Wick, Ninja Tuna, Eisen, GTX, how's everybody doing? Welcome everybody. Careless Whisper, John Wick in here as always. I appreciate you, John Wick. Sam, what's up? R Moore. Let's turn on Dragothien and see what he has going on. PK Brandon, Jedi, Warrior, ATK, and D. What's up, guys? All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's turn on Dragothien and see what we got.
Make sure we're good to go. All right, we are.
What's going on?
Hey, Gekko. So we got Gekko in the stream, everybody. Again, we're going to be doing a dual cast. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
Yes, sir. Another day in paradise. Chats, make sure you keep us, you guys need to keep us a little honest on the volumes. Let us know that the volumes are good for either side. I'm super excited to be casting with you back. We got to sharpen up them skills. Shake off the rust a little bit, because it's coming very soon.
The swing of things.
Yes, sir. Well, we have an interesting match to watch, potentially. These two teams have qualified to playoffs already, right? So I'm interested to see what they'll bring to the table, if anything.
Yeah, I've fought both of them. I fought both of them in one AVG on my other main account, and they're both very, very strong. You've got P245 with Ronnie and Baba and a bunch of people that I used to play with from K16. And then 166, a relatively newcomer. However, when I say newcomer, they're definitely not a newcomer from an Alliance perspective, but they're a newcomer from deep runs into the Osiris League playoffs perspective. So interested to see.
Yeah, man, this is one of the 3 teams I think really showed up big this season. We have 166, SNO, and Rose. 2 of them have not been knocked out, and this is the one wild horse that actually made it to the top 16. It's actually, I'm not gonna lie, very, very impressive stuff. On the first season, they make it to the playoffs. They also advance to the advanced stages of the playoffs. It shows that they put a lot of effort into their strategy and game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, looking at the schedule, the knockout round is starting to shape up nicely, and I think we had a quick breakdown in our and I'll make you a little bit louder. I'm getting a little 5% louder description for you, so I went and did that. We're starting to get the knockout rounds established on the realm. We have 2 different Osiris leagues. Got the realm of Horus and realm of Anubis. Anubis is basically any of the alliances that are in kingdoms. I think, what is it, 350 and later? Is that right?
I think so. 350, 360, something like that.
Yeah, so that's the breaking point there, the division point. And, we had season 1, which had a lot of the original kingdoms that you see here in Realm of Horus and the original alliances. You see a lot of familiar, some newcomers. You've got, V163, you've got 166, you've got... even 89PX, who's an established one, they didn't go that deep this last season. Same thing with BBTH. I think HKL got knocked out fairly early as well last season. UCS certainly did as well. They've stepped their game up. So a lot of good narratives, a lot of good storylines behind the Realm of Horus alliances that are going into the knockout rounds. I'm interested to see how these play out.
I think that one of the cool things that happened with this Realm of Horus and Realm of Anubis is that a lot of these names migrated to younger kingdoms and went to the realm of Anubis. Just a few off the top of my head really quickly. You had NCB, you had all the NBs who became N1A and whatnot, went to 331. You have a Riot in the other realm. And so it's fun because these very competitive alliances went to a younger kingdom and left space for some of these alliances that were a bit more overshadowed to have the opportunity to make it to the playoffs. I'm not saying that 166 SNO or Rose did not earn their spot. They did for sure. But the fact that a few of the established alliances moved to a younger kingdom really allowed the older kingdoms to flourish a little bit more. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and as we were able to jump right in here, the match just opened up for us to kind of take a peek and get in some of the folks that that we're going to be seeing for the next little bit. Let me hide the. I hate that the text auto enables.
I
so
definitely agree. That's the first thing I do.
Yeah, I always forget until I start seeing it. So a lot of familiar faces on the P245 side here. We've got Javi, we've got Baba. Don't see Ronnie. Where's Ronnie at?
For the record, while you find Ronnie, big shout out to Baba. Happy 42nd birthday, my man. Very, very exciting that to see what they did for him in 245. That was actually very cool. I hadn't seen something like that before in Rise of Kingdoms.
Yeah, I saw that too. They were shouting stream there for a little bit. I think it was last stream or the one before. I can't remember, but I forgot to tell him happy birthday on the stream, but I did in Facebook as well. So yeah, happy birthday to Baba for sure. And that was pretty cool what they did. Yeah, I saw that too.
It really is. It shows the coordination of that team, not only on the Osiris field, which is a lot to say for what they did. If you guys haven't seen that, coordinating that heart, move left, no, right there, perfect. There it is. So on the 166 side, we don't really have familiar faces per se. Most of these folks are not like these Baba, Javi, Ronnie types of names, but these are folks who are establishing their names in here. The leader, Liam, and Angel up on the front with them. A few of these folks are like Zessie, 130 million power player, showing up big time and pulling their team together. It's a very cool, neat thing to see new faces. That's I love this about this season.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the fun part of everything here, and I recognize these guys because again, I played against them a little bit last week, and yeah, these guys curb stomped us. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of a curb stomp situation going on. So these guys are solid. I definitely see both of these alliances putting on a good show for us, and we see some people pouring out already as the match begins. Of course, you all know obelisks are the main priority right now. Do they use what I've been checking for lately is do they use the outposts and or the caravans to help refresh their hasty departure to get those T1 cav marches to the outpost quicker? That's, to me, kind of the next level play that you should be seeing in season 2 of Osiris League, and I've seen some alliances do it. Some alliances are not. I don't know if they don't know about it or not, but that does get you there just that little bit quicker. And again, we saw, like, especially the last match we saw on the last stream that was done, winning by provisioning by a couple thousand points because just that little bit extra, right?
Yeah, definitely. Every second matters. One of the things I've been saying consistently in casts is your biggest enemy and your biggest friend at the same time. The number one thing in this is time. Time is either your best friend or your worst enemy. You have to have it on your favor consistently, and by doing what you mentioned, hasty departure, you can very, very easily get there much faster. But the interesting thing is, Dragothien, only one rally early on an obelisk. We are used to seeing 8 rallies usually. That's usually the play to go to. Folks sending cavalries to both their infantry, to their obelisks, as well as to the opposition's obelisks to move troops up on the field. I'm seeing a lot of movement towards the center. Interesting. So far, no building has been taken yet by either side. 27 against 28.
Oh, man. This isn't going to be a real match.
You think?
No, there's no. They're just going to. I bet you what they said was everybody just go to the middle and just
duke it out. That could be a thing. I think they're going all to the center and just duking it out. They're like, hey, might as well.
Come on.
What can we say? Each team gets to choose what they do, unfortunately. For the better or worse.
They're sending rallies to the opposing outposts as well to get there a little bit quicker. Yeah, you see everybody going to the middle on both sides. Yikes.
So, chat, it's time for us to reveal the cards to you guys, okay? Dragothien and I were talking right before the match, and I'm like, listen, you think these guys are going to fight? Like, I don't know. You think these guys are going to fight? I don't know. how about we dual cast this, and at least we have each other to talk to plus chat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we can get each other's chat to get to know each other a bit more and get questions, answers. I think that it's really cool for us to answer together some of the community's questions, because there are things that you are an expert on that I feel very uncomfortable with, and there are things that I think that I see differently than you do. So if we have both opinions and two minds giving an answer, it could be probably something that adds value to the community rather than watching a slaughter in the middle in the Temple of Osiris.
Yeah, I agree. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to park the camera on the Temple of Osiris, and then I'm going to pop open your stream as well so I can see your questions and all that good stuff.
I like that.
I think
idea.
it's also kind of funny. I'm looking at Chisco's stream at Ronnie versus 166. I don't see Ronnie.
I don't see Ronnie either.
And people in my chat are saying he hasn't posted videos for 4 days.
Here's the thing, right? And
I didn't notice that.
And truthfully, I really hope he's doing okay. The situation out there or where he's from is not very pretty. And I hope that we're not talking about anything health related. Maybe just, needs a little bit of a break. Hopefully we'll hear from him sooner rather than later. We know that he's not one to miss these kinds of events, right? He's not that kind of person, but perhaps he's not necessarily in agreement with what's going on in here, and that's his decision not to be here. I don't know. It's open for speculation. I just hope it's a positive thing why he's not here rather than a negative reason. That's all.
Yeah, me too. I mean, shoot.
I just hope
we still talk. So if something were to have happened, I feel like he would have messaged me. I don't know.
I have no idea. Well, the slaughter begins.
Yeah.
So far,
I can hear the clashing in the background.
So far, all we can say is a lot of open field presence. First, Frowny goes
everybody's
to
going to get their
245.
10K, yeah? Everybody's going to get their 10K for honor, yeah?
I'm curious what happens if this ends up a 0-0, you know? I've never seen that happen before.
Well, if they tie, is tying that? I guess.
So theoretically,
has there ever been a tie?
No. So theoretically, they could, if nobody does a very not cool move in the sense of getting a little bit of points, then yeah, there won't be a tie. But if these guys keep doing this all match long, this will be the first ever tie. And I don't think Rise of Kingdoms ever had to deal with this. What happens in a tie?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it just ends 0. So if you think about it, right? Remember the first week of Osiris League?
Yeah.
Everything was 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give you a point.
Yes, but they also didn't play.
Yeah, but they started. It started. Didn't it? If I remember. It started for like 2 seconds and everything crashed, or it lagged so bad that
Yeah, but that's the match crashing, right? So I'm assuming if the match doesn't crash, if the match ends, who wins, who loses? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Watch this crash the game. I'm gonna laugh if this crashes the game.
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is gonna work.
Someone call Lilith and be like, yo.
Oh, that's another thing. So good point in chat. What happens to the bets if they tie this game?
Oh, lordy.
That's a very good question.
Interesting. Right, someone call Lilith. This is watch the game watch the game legit crash. It's like exception.
It wasn't a direct throw from 166, but might as well. Yeah. I mean, look. So it's just obviously fighting. I'm curious to see it. So obviously they've worked this out, right? That P245 and 166 got together and they're like, look, we don't need to beat each other into the ground. Let's just have some fun and go beat each other in the middle.
Yep.
And I wonder if one stray player.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. One stray player is all it takes.
Yeah.
Only one stray player is all it takes. Or a mistake. Oh, I was just moving troops. I didn't mean to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really weird.
So a lot of people saying they're glad they didn't bet on this game. I put a little bit of money. They genuinely could win, and 2 because the spread was really good.
Yeah.
And this is going to be interesting. I wonder if maybe 245 also bet on 166 and is going to ensure a nice coin spread coming their way as well.
I don't think 245 can bet on their own. You can't bet on your own matches. So
That's
245
true.
cannot bet on this.
Can't bet on can't bet on
Theoretically, the alts could go bet on this.
the alt.
Sure.
Do it. Get your alts some good stuff. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's happening right now?
But while this is all going on, it's funny. It's fun to watch, kind of see the ants all over the place. But chat, this is your time to ask questions. This is your time to find something that you want to understand about Ark of Osiris or about Osiris League that intrigues you that you don't know, whether it's strategy, commander pairings, predictions, anything that you guys want us to talk about. I mean, you can also just say, whatever, and leave the chat, but we're already all here together. So we can make a good thing out of this and ask us questions.
Another good point in the match or in the chat here. So provisioning. Accidental provisioning might actually win this match.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see some points from people that used the caravans to move around or something like that. Because even if you die after going into a caravan, you do still get those points as long as you're not killed inside the caravan.
Correct. Someone in chat says Ronnie trolled you guys. Well, if he did, then that's it. It definitely worked. But it just gave me and Dragothien an opportunity to get on a cast together. So
that's right.
Joke's on him, if that's the case.
That's it. So again, any combo still Attila Takeda? Yeah, I'd say so. Although it's getting marginally better at this point, considering some of the newer stuff that's out. I know Gekko, you've got Ramses that you just maxed out. What are you thinking?
I think that Attila Takeda are still the top dog, and I don't think that Lilith actually understand why that is. The combination of Attila Takeda connecting with a building, with a structure, is just stupendous. It goes from insane buffs and debuffs to a great amount of damage to an impossibility of swarming. And it's not that there is going to be anything that's going to come in and cause a balance. That pair of commanders is broken, period. Can you get Ramses with or Artemisia or some sort of combinations along the way to counter it? Sure, we've been seeing Charles Martel and Constantine doing that quite a bit. But those guys are still doing massive damage. And honestly, I know you're going to hate me saying this, but those commanders need a much bigger nerf than they did.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they did get nerfed, and while they were nerfed, it's still one of the best in the game, especially if you're not fighting top tier players that just don't have the juice, like just don't have the troops and the T5 and the research and everything. That combo is still mega devastating. I mean, it just still blows anything else out of the water currently in the game. I will say, you got Edward Tamiris that's out, that's still really good. You still got Saladin Takeda, which is really good. I'm interested to see how this Ramses Artemisia or Ramses Tamiris or Ramses Freddy works out. See how good those are. I haven't played around with either really, other than just unlocking the first skill on Ramses. I haven't won or gotten unlocked Artemisia with any of these MGEs because I just moved to K93 and they were in the middle of their second one. So I look to unlock her and maybe play around with her a little bit, but there's nothing like Attila Takeda right now out on the map. It's just too easy to just say, yeah, send Attila Takeda and go for it.
So a lot of folks are asking, why is this happening? That question, guys, as much as you might think that we have an answer for it, we really don't. Each team and each group and each alliance and each kingdom make their decisions, and why they do what they do and how they do what they do is beyond us. Those of us, we are here casting, chilling, and we came in here to have a good time with the community, regardless of what's going to happen here. And you want to know what's happening? Ask them. Don't ask us. We really don't have a way to.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what's funny though? I saw T1 marches coming out of the front of the base. Where were the T1 marches going?
Uh-oh.
Was that like a fake or?
It had to have been a fake. A rally on an obelisk early on. That's what we saw, right? That's like, yeah. Where was that going? Outpost. Where was that going?
To get to the middle faster.
Maybe that's the case. Some folks say they're trying to avoid JWM. I don't think. I mean, if we go take a quick peek at the rewards, we can go do that in a second. I mean, so you're gonna get one more stage in for what? Two more sculptures? What's the play?
Man, I mean, I talked about this a little bit on the last stream whenever I was streaming MFLD, the MFLD match. I mean, at some point you got to fight them. I mean, are you just hoping some you don't think you can beat, and then maybe you'll beat that alliance? That doesn't make sense to me, because if you're going to beat, if somebody else is going to beat the alliance that you're scared of, then how are you not scared of that other alliance that just beat them? So, me personally, just fight, just have fun and fight. That's what this match is for. These guys are having fun and fighting. So, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, this is cool. But for everybody else that's here looking to be entertained by this, and then just as importantly, because this is a thing in the game, bets, man. There's money on the line. You mess with people's money, you start messing with people's emotion.
I tend to agree with that, but I do disagree with what you said about this being a cool thing. And I'm not. Oh, someone's picking up the arc. Leo, the betrayal.
Oh, they're only doing arcs, maybe.
That'd be pretty funny if they're only doing arcs. But
that's the play.
But how did they return the arc? Where did they take it? And how the heck did this guy drop the arc?
He just dropped it.
How did he drop it and not take it? I'm so confused. How did that just happen? Okay. See, I think that one of the things that, if they're trying to avoid the next group, right? The one thing that I need to mention is that, remember, the top 4 get into Osiris Invitational, which is a 4v4 situation versus the Anubis realm. So theoretically, folks are trying to make their way as far up as they can to potentially make it to the Osiris Invitational. I guess that's a thing, but I'm not entirely sure whether or not this facilitates this or not. If the match remains tied, things remain as they are. And so I think that using this time to practice your strategy and play the game, not for our sakes of the entertainment, right? But for your own hour. You're spending an hour here, right? So it's fun, it's laugh and all that good stuff. But, you have an hour's worth of opportunity to practice, to get better, to test things, to attempt new combinations, to just experiment.
So Leo drops the arc after getting swarmed by Venny, and he went to the other side, to P245's side, and now Venny's picking it up.
So where is Venny gonna go?
I know. I'm waiting for the gotcha moment.
Well, so far it looks like Venny's like, I'm gonna just stay here. Venny's running away with it.
And is he gonna capture it to the desert altar there to the right?
All I gotta say is, the second he goes into that caravan provisioning thing, he better not go home.
Yeah, he just drops. Yeah.
Well, this is really something else. This is really something else.
It is.
At least, I guess both teams are doing this. I was like, is this a thing? Is this a thing? Yup, it definitely is.
Death the Sausage says it's not even real money, though. It's get by doing daily, weekly stuff. So not even a reason to be angry and hate them. I'm not angry, and I certainly don't hate them. I'm trying to voice what I think everybody who bet on this match probably is thinking is, well, how do you expect us to bet on a match whenever this kind of thing is okay to happen? It's a qualifier round match. So technically, again, there's no do or die situation here. It's not a knockout round match. So this can happen in the current way the game is structured. And again, if you're going to do betting, make it to where there's not a way for this type of thing to happen. Or maybe there's a toggle where they allow each other, don't allow people to bet on our match or something like that. I don't know. Just kind of thinking stuff up. But that's why. I know that it's not real money, and I'm not angry. I don't hate them.
I don't think it's a matter of being angry,
Yeah.
right? It's a
Yeah.
matter of you're getting into the spirit of things. The spirit of things is when you're gambling is you're gambling your own money. If you're gonna be that guy who's like, oh, this is imaginary chips, I can just go all in every hand, then it's no fun. You really wanna you don't take this as, you know, I lost half of my coins today. You know, I was like 5,600 coins went down the drain, and I'm smiling. You know, I don't care, but. I took it to a sense of, hey, if I'm just betting, it's my money. Where's my money?
Yep.
So thank you, Ghost Rider. I appreciate you, man, for winning that.
Hey Drago, is Ramsey's good at 5-1? YSG is second or only when expertise? That's a question for Gekko.
5 what? Sorry, you got cut off there.
5-1-1-1.
The good spot for Ramses is really a 5-5, if not 5-5-5. We can go after the match out a little bit and see the skills. And you know what? Maybe on a second device, I'll take a peek at the skills. He's not a good 5-1-1-1 commander, primarily because the ones who are good 5-1-1-1s are the ones whose main thing is the first skill. And for Ramses, that's not necessarily it. That's just the damage one. The healing comes on the third skill. The debuffs come on the second skill.
Guan Leo, Ramses Artemisia, they've all got good first skills, don't get me wrong, but then really they come into being the next generation of commander with their second, third, and fourth skills, especially when they stack up together. All the attack and defense stats that they bring is what makes them so good on the field.
Yep. The difference, for example, comparing to a Richard, why a Richard 5-1-1-1 is okay is because Richard's main thing is the tankiness and healing aspect of it. And while his fourth skill does enhance the healing even further, the main chunk of the healing comes from that first skill. The main reason he's used is that first skill.
Yeah, absolutely. And another question, it's a very mixed troop type one. When I use Ethelfled Joan in open field, I use 65% infantry, 25% archers, and 20% cav. What's your advice? So, I mean, but use whatever ratio you want. If you want some more tankiness, you can go full infantry. If you want some more speed, you can go 98% cav and 1% infantry and 1% archer. You can kind of split it up however you want. If you want full split, you can just do full split. What do you think?
So the reason you do that, right, is that leadership tree that has a few of those crucial skills that require you to have 3 types of troops within a march. The thing about that is really, all it is you need one of each, right? So if you have a 99.9% of cavalry or whatever else you want, and then 0.05% of the other two, you'll still proc that tree. You don't really need to break down to like percentages. If you're doing this for that, then it doesn't matter what you do. If this is your final march and that's the troops you have left over, 2 thumbs up. That's okay.
Now, the way I've always done it is 98%, 1%, 1%. Reason being, if you get the number too low on the smaller ones and you're halfway dead on your army, a lot of times one of those might have died off completely and then you're losing that extra damage defense.
I definitely agree.
So you want to have a little bit of those 2 smaller ones, but other than that, yeah, whatever ratio you want, buddy. It's a mixed troop army. I'm not sure.
By the way,
debuff army, really.
John Wick from OV says 65, 25, and 20 isn't quite 100%. Yes, that does come out to 110. That does come out of 110, but let's not talk about that. Army expansion.
That's it.
There it is.
Let's see here. Let's see if there's any other questions. There's tons of questions pouring in here, but.
So while we do that, the folks on the chat have been asking maybe we open a second screen on over kind of just to have the matches, the next few matches that are going to come up. Maybe talk a little bit about what those are going to be since we already know what they're going to be, right?
Yeah.
We could discuss those a little bit too since
there's 35 minutes left in the game and they're just kind of sitting there. Yeah, why not? Let me hop out. Let me go to the thing here. Okay, so going to schedule. 1
second, loading the game. I just pulled up on the second monitor this thing. We'll leave the fight in the background.
Go Strain. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Oh boy.
Welcome everybody to the stream, by the way. So yes, we're doing a dual cast right now. It looks like P245. This is an update for everybody who might be joining just recently. 5 and 166 have decided to just do an open field battle only. They haven't captured any structures whatsoever, and they've taken the Ark, but they can't take it anywhere because no structures are captured. So technically, this could end up as a 0-0 tie. I don't know what that means for the game. I don't think the game's ever seen anything like that. So we're all going to find out together what that means if that happens again in the future. But right now, we're starting to jump over to the schedules here, and we're going to start talking what the next steps in the playoffs look like and what the matchups look like and all that good stuff. And welcome everybody to both streams. We're doing a dual cast between Gekko and myself.
And if you guys haven't done that yet, I feel like it's my duty to tell you to drop a like on both streams and subscribe to the channels. Daily content,
Exactly.
well, mostly daily from both of us. Rise of Kingdoms content as well as casts, continual casts. Dragothien is grinding the casts, so am I. Make sure you guys drop some likes. Come join us in the next few streams.
That's right. That's right. And I'm getting a lot of people saying because sports is not getting played right now, this was their sports and they're not getting what they're, I would normally say getting their money's worth, but there's no money,
I don't know what you're talking about. They're not getting their money's worth, period. Come on, man. I really want to know what happens with the rewards at the end. Who gets the sculptures? Who wins what? What happens?
That's very true. I'm very curious. I mean, I've got people I can ask on the P245 side. In fact, let me go ahead and I'm in Discord right now. Let me see. Shoot some people.
While you do that, I am writing down the bracket. I'm writing down the bracket because we can't really see both these things at the same time on the screen, the groups and the brackets. So chat, give us a second to prepare and give you guys more information. We're doing our best to improvise on the spot some awesome content for you guys because after all, you deserve it. You guys came here for some good content and some good time.
That's right. That's right.
And heck, if the match doesn't give it to you, we will.
Recruitment.
All right, so this.
All right, I'll look into it later. I've got a couple people I've shot some things out to, but I don't know. So, yeah, go ahead and do your thing. I'll some of these groups here. So, let me scooch back. I want to look at knockout stage.
All right. Yeah, I wrote down all the brackets so that it's a little bit easier to understand who is who. Let me know whenever you've looked at everything and ready to go. You will give us a couple of moments, chat, and we'll be right back. But for now.
So it looks like we've got for Realm of Horus, A1 and H2. So A1, H2.
MFLD versus OV.
Okay, so that's week. And you've got B1 versus G2.
Which is 89PX versus C9N.
Okay. Then you got C1 versus F2.
JWM against K90.
So why is this match? Why does this match have anything to do with that?
Don't look at me, man. I barely work here.
All right. D1 versus E2.
That's P245 against V163.
Okay. And then other side, E1 versus D2.
That is BBTH against 166.
That should be a good match. F1 versus C2.
That would be HKL against 1008.
Okay. Be a good match too.
Yeah.
G1 versus B2.
That is Smash Squad, Chiskel Gaming against NB2. Whoa. Whoa.
That's a healthy match too.
Whoa. Has Chiskel seen this yet?
Yeah, I know, right? H1 versus A2 is the last one.
UCS against JWM2.
Oh, wow. So that'll be you.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I know we do have quite a few Realm of Anubis folks. If you want to jump over to the Realm of Anubis, we can do that for them too.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do this thing. Is their bracket the same exact? Is the same exact type of order?
A1, H2, B1, G2, yeah.
All right, so the first match would be NCB against TDM from 46. And then you have, it would be B1 is BQQM against G2, which is VNFN, the Vietnam Forever crew.
Yeah.
Who else we have next?
C1, F2.
That's 1341 against L3S.
That should be a good one.
Yeah, Death Squad against the L3 squad.
L3 squad. Yep.
It's the squads going at it.
That's it. D1 versus E2.
D1 would be Fate Nation from 331 against M8R. Oh boy. That's actually going to be a good match too.
I feel for M8R though.
I really do too.
E1, D2.
E1, D2 would be hashtag 47. Okay, you don't call it hashtag. I know. At or pound sign. Fine. Pound sign 47A against D2, which is 1V.
Okay.
I don't know these guys.
You said, did I do the F1C2? Is that what you used
to do? No, F1C2 would be NBA1 against Riot. Oh.
That one actually would be really good.
Ooh.
I'd watch that.
I'd definitely watch that.
The next one.
G1 against B2 would be LIIG Dream League against GX96. Don't know a GX96, or I don't know either of them, honestly.
H1 versus A2 was the last one.
411K against 92KW. I will tell you right now, I feel really bad for 92.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one too.
Yep.
All right, so we basically have everything set. The Realm of Anubis finished up their matches earlier in the 15 UTC slot, and I mean, effectively, so did Realm of Horus, even though they're playing one right now. So, and it is 0-0 at the moment. We've gone through some of these matchups. I think that ultimately, when we're breaking all this stuff down, I don't understand what they're doing. Now the arc is inside the base.
Yep. And I'm looking for where the fight is happening, but it's just not. Baba's just pushing forward.
I wonder if they just pick it up, if it'll refresh the timer again.
When it refreshes the timer, it should go back to the center, right? So it'll, in a moment, just go poof, and then there will be a 60-second warning, I think, or something like that. Yep, 1 minute and 15, and then it goes back to the center. Yeah, I remembered it was something about a minute. So
yeah, but if you drop it, it refreshes the countdown timer for that to happen, is what I'm saying. Did you know that?
Oh, it refreshes the countdown? That's
you can still effectively do what you used to be able to do. You just got to pick it up and drop it and pick it up and drop it.
That's 10 out of 10. Lilith at its finest. So we know they're good at fixing issues.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff all around. So I don't see where the fights are happening anymore. I think P245 has pushed 166 back to the front of their base. So
I think so too, and I'm telling you this, I'm seeing a few folks around buildings, and I'm getting a bit wary as to what the plan is, because I can see someone going, whoops, and I see, for example, a nice little siege march led by a Cleopatra walking out. Is she going to go provision?
Oh boy.
Has anyone gone provisioning?
I doubt it. Better not have. They haven't taken any of the structures. Why would you provision if you haven't even taken a structure? That'd be terrible.
Just to take the W and take the 10 sculptures rather than potentially 5 or 0?
Check player points. I believe this is 166 side. Liam's winning with 26,000. And I believe everybody but one player has their 10,000 points. On the blue side, 2 players don't have their 10,000 points, and they only have 27 players in, by the way.
Yes, sir. So this also causes me to believe that perhaps not everybody was in agreement on doing this. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know either.
You got tons of reinforcements and 30 actives, so it's 45 total. Huh. Interesting.
One thing that Send pointed out that I think is very, very, very important, and Send, I think you're really, really right about this, is after tonight, brackets should not be revealed until the playoffs. And I think until it's time to reveal them. And I think that is the correct play. I think that having the bracket revealed early on allows for potential strategies when it comes to picking and choosing where you want to place yourself. But on the other hand, because that's a thing that's available, so some people do what they'll do.
I got a guy who's playing right now. Him to send me the after action report that you get after Ark's over that shows the rewards and everything.
We'll see.
To see what it says. Yeah, see what it says. Whenever this is over. It's got 23 minutes left. My goodness.
Oh my god. So you know what, Drago? Let's talk a little bit about the matches that are coming up in at least the realm of Horus, since we know these folks quite well. I wrote down the matches so we can. You want to go through them kind of one by one, or you want me to cherry pick a few that I think would be interesting? What do you think?
Let's start with the cherry picks and then we'll work through the rest because we got some time.
All right. So I think that out of all the matches, the one that really stood out to me the most was Smash Squad against NB2. Smash Squad against NB2, this would be Chisco Gaming's alliance, and NB2 individuals who ended up on the top 4 last year. Smash Squad made it to the playoffs, I believe, but then got knocked out, I think, in the top 8 last year, if I'm not mistaken. So NB2 looking to continue their run up to the top, and Smash Squad trying to at least match what they did last season. What do you think?
Well, Smash Squad's new. Smash Squad wasn't a thing last season. Chisco was in K39 White Tigers last season, remember? Correct.
That is true.
So I know that some people White Tigers did go to Smash Squad, and he did pull a couple other folks that were followers of his community, and they went there as well. So he's assembled quite a crack team over there. It's going to be a good match. I mean, it's going to come down to strategy and who can execute better, and that's really going to probably be the majority of the answers for most of these matchups. I mean, there's going to be your obvious studs kind of of the matchups, but then some of these new ones, like you were saying earlier, the 166s, the 89 PXs that are now in because some of the bigger ones from season 1 went to the later kingdoms. Those are the ones I'm really going to be interested to watch and see if they're going to be able to keep up with with the JWMs, the JWM2s, the the Smash Squads, the MFLDs, those types of alliances of the world.
Well, for the record, JWM2 is also established for the first time competitively this season. Last season, it was only JWM, and the other 2 alliances we have that are big alliances, B&W and IWM, also played, but this was kind of like a second group that was created now. If you want to go that route, then I think that of more established names, I think that the match of all of this bracket will be MFLD against OV. And I'll tell you why. I think that MFLD has stepped up tremendously. I think they've stepped up tremendously in their gameplay. I think that they don't only take Ark of Osiris League a lot more. They do finally enjoy that competitive aspect of it, which I'm not sure whether they did or not last time around, but I can see, based on their gameplay, the amount of time and effort that they've put into assembling their team. So I think that it's going to be a great challenge to see if they've done enough to put up against the reigning champions, the guys whose name is on the building in the middle right now.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I agree. I think MFLD has a big name, certainly from early in the game, and they've continually built that. And they're mostly known right now for KVK. Like, they are a powerhouse kingdom, when it comes to KVK. But the reason they're so good is because they've spread a lot of their power among the different families inside that kingdom. So, yeah, I was very surprised at how well, based off of how they performed season one, how well they came out the gates this season. Having fought them previously in arcs before and won, you can tell a difference. So yeah, I definitely see that matchup, especially that first match next week is going to be one of the ones to watch for sure. That's going to be one that's going to be really fun to watch.
So you brought up a point that I think is important for most of the community to understand a little bit about Kingdom 93. A lot of folks think of Kingdom 59 as JWM, of Kingdom 75 as Smash Squad, of Kingdom X as Alliance X. Kingdom 93 is three families, three very strong families, and more often than not, only MFLD gets the credit as the flagship alliance per se. But if you take a look, the flagship alliance of another family in Kingdom 93 is in the playoffs as well. That is K90. K90 is the flagship of the second family, third family being the Immortals. And I think 93, again, their spearhead per se is a little bit MFLD because the king is mostly sitting in MFLD. That's being Misfit Lion King. And that's perhaps per se the biggest alliance, quote unquote, kind of thing. Is like kind of like you say, Kingdom 59 is JWM. But K90 are in this, but they're going up against JWM.
From MFLD is saying that the third family is also going to be in next season too. So
oh hell yeah, there'll
be three families coming from K93.
That'd be dope. I think it's really cool that they're taking that they went on further. They've already reached a point where they're a powerhouse in KVK. Nobody can dispute the fact that they're a powerhouse in KVK, and now they're starting to be a powerhouse in Osiris League, and that's awesome.
Well, they've got a heavy KVK coming up. I'm in it currently. Actually, again, on my other device here, sliding to the left, hitting more Marauders. They're in it right now. They're right now not exactly the most active kingdom. They're down 150 million points to Kingdom 347 and about 70 or 80 million points to 331. So they're going up against some very active and powerful kingdoms in this KVK. We're going to see how that goes for them too, because that's what 93 is known for, is just really imposing their will on KVK. So we'll see how this goes.
I think that to an extent, as someone who plays in JWM, I can tell you JWM doesn't prioritize too much pre-KVK in the sense of people do Marauders, but we more often than not end up at the bottom four than at the top four. We've seen that not necessarily being a huge factor, and a family like Kingdom 93 can definitely offset that extra 3% with strategy, with good flagging, good planning. I mean, for someone like Nico, shout out to Nico, she is a beast when it comes to the preparation of their KVKs, right? And I think that those percentages are not going to be as significant for them in terms of KVK. But we've gone a little bit to the tangent of KVK while we're here on Osiris League.
Oh, is that what this is? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know this is. We're talking about brute fight, open field fights. I figured we're in KVK, right?
I'm curious.
What's your thoughts on 89PX against C9N?
So I fought both. I've lost to both, and I've beaten both. They've got really quality players. They've got good strategies. Again, I've fought C9N in I think 2 matches, and they're very coordinated, and they've gotten more coordinated. Both teams have. Again, I've seen what they've done maybe in the last, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months ago, and then what they're doing now, and it's definitely escalated. So I think that match is also going to be very good. I'm looking at 89PX, and I noticed that before they had just a few really high-end players at the beginning, and then the rest of were just kind of fillers, and they were making it work, and now they've kind of made a team. So I'm interested to see how far they can take it with how new that's been. Whereas C9N has been a team for a little while. I've seen C9N do really, really well, and I've also seen them kind of drop the ball. So it really depends on how they really kind of knock it.
Death Squad showed up in the chat going, why is it 0? Lol. Death Squad, this is a new way of playing Osiris League, if you didn't know. This is new Osiris League. So the top 32 decided we're going to pretty much do a little strike, and every match from here on out is a 0-0. That's it. It's over. It's over.
So this is the new Light and Darkness Osiris League, if y'all hadn't heard yet.
When the light turns on, it's time for red to push forward. When the darkness pushes, it's time for blue to push forward.
It takes a month and a half for any of the fighting to actually matter, so that's why it's 0-0.
Yep.
It'll be points later.
So another match you mentioned that you really liked was BBTH against 166. And I actually think that one's going to be a super interesting match because both teams are on the opposite end of what they are supposed to be to an extent. BBTH was a powerhouse that had a little bit of a situation happen with migrations, changes of kingdoms, and all that stuff. And they're still here to prove that they are the powerhouse that they used to be. 166 are here to prove that they are a new top dog. So BBTH have a lot of their own history and their own reputation to maintain, while 166 is trying to build their own reputation. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's a very good description. They were in last season of Osiris League, and 166, I don't recall them going very far. I think they did play in Osiris League Season 1, but they weren't deep runners. So I think both of these alliances have a chance to make a name for themselves, and this is a good opportunity for them to do it. Again, having fought 166, I can tell you they've got the strategy to make it work. They've got the players to make it work. It's just going to be a matter of, can they actually pull it off?
Yes, sir. So we've talked about a good few matches in here. We've gone through at least half of them. The one that I've been avoiding a little bit because it's the one that I'm going to end up in is UCS against JWM2. Lord have mercy. What I think, you want to start us off, or should I?
No, you go for it.
Oh, boy.
This is your baby.
Oh boy, can I give it back? So JWM2 against UCS is going to be another one of these really, really interesting matches because JWM2 have a lot to prove. The thing, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but we were called the JWM refugees in the beginning. So folks who are refugees out of JWM went to JWM2. And I feel like we've proven that it's not exactly like that. UCS have been called the washed up kingdom, the washed up alliance, and they showed up and beat OV. Now before Ghost Rider starts going again saying that I hate OV, I don't think that I think it was a combination of OV getting a little bit caught off guard, as well as OV saving a little bit of their strats, thinking that perhaps UCS wasn't necessarily what it is. So UCS have a lot to prove, and so do JWM2. And I think that this is going to be a very, very, very hard match.
Do you remember back in the day when this matchup popped, how many tents were popped in people's pants? I mean, just everybody was just over the moon seeing, because these were the two known, like, massive, like, this was the match to watch, the match of the century. I want to say that was probably what the title of most people's streams at that time was: match of the century, match of the game, that kind of thing. And now so many alliances are there, and this game has grown so much since that time that this is kind of, I think there's a name thing. It's kind of like, for those in the States, it's kind of like, Cowboys, Redskins, or New England, Miami, or something like that, where it's just a rivalry. But it's not necessarily like this is the only match to watch because this is the only place you're going to be able to find T5 against T5. Like, it's everywhere now. It's everywhere. The game has grown so much that all these alliances have that. So I think that this is a good chance, and I think UCS is going to show up hard. I mean, obviously they have to because it's a knockout round, but like I expect UCS to throw out all the stops, and I expect JWM to put up their best as well. And we're going to see who comes out on top. I think, or JWM2, I'm sorry. This is one of those things where, with JWM, you have, like you said earlier, so many alliances that are basically mini JWMs. Like, they have the different alliances are talking strategy between the two, and what you're going to do and things like that. So the same thing happened with, what was it, NCB or no NB? I'm sorry, last season with 3 NBs.
at the
They all
top
had their
four.
own strategies that they talked together on to have a master strategy, but then each one put their own little flavor on it. Um, and I think it was one NB8 that ended up making it farther than any of the other NBs, which is now 108.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of 108, since you already mentioned them, we can cut that straight into that transition, perfect transition into it.
It's like we planned it.
1008 against HKL is one of the big matchups next week as well.
I need your expertise on this because I have not seen many HKL matches. I've heard good things. I've heard they're very strong, but I'm familiar with 1008. I've seen those quite a few times, but I haven't really seen too many HKL matches. So, if that being the case, I couldn't really tell you which way. I mean, I know they both are very, very strong. 1008 almost lost today and almost got knocked out of the playoffs, if not for provisioning. However, HKL has kind of had an easy ride, don't you think?
So I think that HKL has a little bit of a combination of both. They did have a little bit of an easier ride, although do remember they went up against K90 and LG1 in their group, and they beat both those teams. They beat all the teams that they played against. I think that HKL is just one of those that flew under the radar. I'm pretty confident they were in the playoffs last season as well. Don't quote me on that, but I think they're one of these kingdoms that is just not looking to is not one that you see all the time on Facebook. It's not one that you see all the time in the crazy matchups of crazy KVKs that are covered by content creators as well as just are out there in the eye of the community. I think HKL is just a super strong alliance that they just did their thing, and they just we're getting caught with our pants down really because we don't really know anything about these guys. And Dragothien, this is a team with 2.8 billion power. It's not a small
nowhere,
team,
right?
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit on our fault per se, not to just not know who they are. And shout out to HKL.
Say, if I can remember correctly, last season they were in the playoffs, but they weren't. I don't know if they made it to the knockout. They got knocked out first week, or they didn't make it out of those final qualifiers that we're finishing up right now. I think they were on that cusp. So I think I was noticing them last season, but I didn't necessarily get into them because they just kind of got knocked out towards that point where I was starting to kind of pay attention. Now they've easily coasted through those qualifier rounds. And when I say easily, I mean the scores make it look like they easily coasted.
They had a very good set of strategies and games. They've done it fair and square.
I mean, that's what it's all about. So, I look to see HKL a little bit more, and maybe I'll do an extra peek in on some of these streams as we're continuing to start to get to the knockout stage. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that matchup plays out because this is 1008 and HKL. That's going to be a very strong matchup.
So we're 2 matches away from finishing, going through all of the realm of Horus, and 6 minutes remaining. The one that I think we can. It's just a little bit of a rough situation to talk about too much. Is JWM against K90, and that's all you.
JWM versus K90. Okay, so JWM and K90. K90 is probably cursing the Osiris League gods for getting JWM right at the beginning of the knockout round. But again, we just talked about it earlier. K Power Alliance, and they've got a good strategy. I've seen them fight. They had a really good match today where they pulled out based on being able to adapt and overcome. Right, that's a thing. Mm-hmm. And they did a good job of doing that in this week's match too. So it may be, my hesitancy of saying, hey, this is going to be a 50-50 matchup. My hesitancy is JWM's been there for so long. They've been there all through last season, even before Osiris was a thing, even before Arc of Osiris was a thing. JWM was a powerhouse alliance in this game, whereas K90, they, again, like we talked about earlier, they are a powerhouse in KVK. We know that. They did really good in season 1, but didn't quite make it that far. Lost to some suspect opponents last season. This season, they've stepped it up. You can tell MFLD and K90 both stepped it up in a big way from a strategy perspective.
Agree.
And executing that strategy is the other piece. So I think they're there, but have they been there long enough? Because again, being there is one thing, getting to that point is one thing, but then having been there and then learning from that experience and next setup, that's kind of where I'm thinking maybe JWM has a little bit of an edge because they've played at the highest level. They were in the finals last season. They lost to OV, but every right had every attempt to be able to win that match. And K19 just hasn't been there yet. So I think JWM has the advantage on this match, not only from just a raw power perspective, but because of the experience.
The only thing I gotta say about all this, and I can't say too much again, because whatever I say, it'll either come out extremely biased or people will find a reason to hate on it.
Not that bad.
Trust, it's much worse than you think. My thing about this is again, you have a team that has been working very hard to get through something that was fairly traumatizing to them, which was the loss last year. It was really a traumatizing thing for JWM, and they are coming in. They're not gonna leave anything behind. They're coming in with everything they got. They're not gonna give it a single chance of them screwing up or messing up, and they've been working hard to get there. I do feel a little bit bad for K90 because they did make such an amazing run. To be the team that gets to play against JWM on the first round is just not fun. And it doesn't matter who you are, by the way.
It's just bad luck, man.
Straight up.
Just bad luck.
And the worst part is it's 93. MFLD got OV, K90 got JWM. I mean, really? Really? The final match that we haven't talked about, one of them is on the screen right here. P245 against V163. The one thing I can tell you right now is, as we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, one of the cool things I've learned from 149 as well as from other Vietnamese kingdoms is for 149 had Hakka, which was very predominantly Vietnamese. There's a lot of pride in there. So for these guys, they come in with a lot of the Vietnamese nation in this game behind them as cheering for them, and they have a certain responsibility towards their people to an extent, and that's going to play a huge role in their fight against P245, who have shown they have everything they need to get a deep run on this playoffs. They are very well coordinated. They got the commanders they need. They got the strategy well implemented. They rotate fast enough. They know their timings. It's going to be a fun match to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. V163 has put on a couple good matches. I peeked into a couple of those. 245 has just the raw power, I think, and that's who everyone's going to be expecting to win. From a bet everybody plays, that would be a good one to go on. I think just looking forward to what the spread is probably going to look like. Throw a couple hundred on V163 and see if they can pull it out in the end.
Yes, sir. So people are asking for us to explain what's going on here.
Yeah, so real quick, and I'm going to get into that. Basically, what's happening is people are trying to posture from a positioning perspective on who is going to face who in the next. Kind of equal. So I don't think that necessarily one or the other is going to make a big difference. So what they've done is they've chatted with each other and said, hey, let's do a tie. Now, I don't know if they did a tie because it's never been done before, and maybe they just want to see it, what happens if there is a tie, because nobody's ever seen a 0-0 match that's actually been played. Like, we've seen 0-0 matches where the matches didn't start, or server instability, things like that, but we've never seen a match that actually got played for the full hour. So we're going to see how that plays out. They all got their 10,000 points, so they're going to get whatever it is that they get. I don't know if they both get 10 sculptures or if they both get 5. I've got people that are going to be sending me their after action reports from the ARC itself, or the Osiris League match itself, to see just that. But I also, on my screen here that I'm on my stream, I've got the rules up.
Okay.
And and it says, in the event of a critical error or server instability, blah, 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 critical issues may include but are not limited to server instability, game-breaking bugs, serious abuse of loopholes or design flaws, cheating through illegal programs, or side deals. This could be a
Dragothien,
side deal.
really quickly. I see P245 as victorious. Hello?
Interesting. I wonder if it's based on kills then.
Total kills?
Yeah, it must be total kills.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting one.
So they must have gotten the sculptures.
They probably did. They probably did then, if that's the thing. We'll find out in a moment. John Wick said he figured it'd be probably more total kills. That's a weird one, right? That is a really weird one, because how do you get a perfect tie? That'd be really interesting. It looks like you and I gave Lilith a little bit of a hard time. They did think it through. We'll go based on kills and whatever.
At least, you know.
Yeah.
At least it didn't crash the game.
Oh, if it would have crashed. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have preferred seeing the game crash. I'm like, straight up.
I would have preferred seeing 166 win, because that would have given me my.
Oh no, the bets.
Yeah. The bet.
Oh no.
The bets.
Oh no, this is real. This is actually bad. All right.
So here we are, on the raggedy edge.
Well,
I mean, what's to be done?
Don't ask me. I barely work here. That's my thing. Thankfully, I don't work for Lilith to have to make this decision. I'm thinking there's gonna be a decision that's gonna be made in here. I think there's gonna be a decision that's gonna be made in here. If it's, as you said, it's deal making. Oof.
It's considered a side deal. So are they even paying attention to it?
Cuba J says that on his screen it said that they lost.
Okay.
Whoa. Time out.
Thanks.
This is now okay. I'm gonna exit out of this screen and go take a peek at the bets and see what the bets say. What do the bets say?
That's a good point too. Let me see.
Oof. No, league bets. Hello? Well, yeah. Chat, don't forget to drop a like on the stream if you enjoy this content. This is when Dragothien and I go hide somewhere and let Lilith do what Lilith needs to do. I don't see victory on either side. Do you?
Yep, me either. Maybe it hasn't updated yet, because same thing on the schedule. It still says 2-2.
Oh my goodness!
Still
But
2-2
will
on
it
the
not
schedule.
say 2-2? Will it at any point not say 2-2?
Well, I mean, and the other ones, so you got 2-2-2. There needs to be 6 victories on each, and right now there's only 5 on Group D.
Does there need to be 6? Logic determines there should be, but what happens if there isn't?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't affect anything. P245 is going to move, and so from a moving on perspective, nothing changes.
And
But,
Cuba's also mentioning that we did not talk to each other at all. Just both went for loss. Wow.
I find that very suspect.
I'm not gonna say what I think. This is no way. There's absolutely no way that both teams said, "All right, nobody go provision, nobody go to building, nobody do anything. Just go to the center. We didn't talk to each other."
Okay, well, who cares?
Yep, it's over. It's over. This is gonna be fun. If we were looking for drama, well, welcome everybody.
Kevin.
High five indeed, my friend. At least we had a good time together, co-casting a little bit of nothing, answering questions of the community. Some of your folks came by to check out my channel. I hope some of my folks came out to check out your channel.
Yeah, please do.
If you guys haven't done that yet, Dragothien Gaming, that's the time. You guys need to go check him out. Drop likes on both the streams before this goes off. I wonder what Chiskel did all this time.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really thankful we agreed on this, because I would have been.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would have read chat, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's been a nightmare.
It wouldn't have been fun. It would have been fun. Chat is fun, but having to deal with the consistent. I think that us talking about the bracket was really, really good, very interesting. And I'm really, really looking forward to see what every team is going to bring to the table. Just a quick note, Dragothien. If in theory, and this is theoretical, talk only, chat, don't take me as the overlord of how this works, please. If theoretically this is match, this is deal making, and potentially DQs happen, that gives BBTH a step forward, and it gives V164 a step forward too. In theory.
I mean, I think we're speculating.
Of course, strictly speculating. strictly speculating. This is complete speculation. No, nothing. We don't know nothing. This never happened before. Well, any final thoughts?
I feel like to say about that. There's nothing to say about that.
Nothing.
I mean, will it give them an edge? I don't know. I mean,
what edge? V163 would go up against either JWM or K90, and BBTH would go up against. Yeah.
Or would they get a bye?
What bye? When do you buy?
Facing who they're supposed to.
They're not. They're going one step forward. So instead of getting knocked out in top 16, they'll get knocked out in top 8. Like, they automatically go to top 8, meaning they win their top 16 match by default, per se.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They get a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They may just combine the two that's left, and well, no, they can't do that.
You can't do that. You'll destroy the brackets,
dude.
Oh, this is gonna be this.
That sounds awful.
Yeah,
that is. It sounds. I see in the chat people are just like F side deals, blah blah blah. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, this is the game that we're playing. I mean, this is the game. The way it was structured, you can do this. You can do this. We just looked at the rules. It said no side deals, but who's going to tell them it was a side deal? Like, who's going to say that? How are they going to prove that? There ain't no way. So I mean,
nope. The same can be said about any of the other matches that were talked about throwing matches and things like that.
They
unfortunately,
put on a show. They could have put on a show. And 1008 said, you know what? Let me just provision and bring in all the provisions. You guys don't provision. Like, that could have been a side bet, side deal.
For sure.
Yeah, who knows? So obviously that's not the case, but you see what I'm saying.
It can go anyway. The thing that Chris mentioned, one of the viewers here said, Chris John said, this problem would have never happened if the bracket wasn't shown from the beginning, if Lilith didn't put the bracket from the beginning. I mean, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? We learn, we grow, we improve, and mistakes are made and mistakes are fixed. What else can be said about that?
Well, even showing the bracket wouldn't fix that, because you can see if you have somebody who's really organized, you can get the data you need to kind of put these brackets together based off of who's fighting who. That being said, it'd be a little more difficult to do, but it's only what is this? It wouldn't be that hard to do. Put together the data.
In theory, yes, if you know what the structure of the bracket is, but right now it's like crosses, like first and last, B with G, E with D, like they went from outwards inwards. They can choose to scramble that, and then that way you have no way to know. They can just say, all right, this is not a balanced bracket. At the end, the playoff bracket is just randomly generated between the groups.
Yeah, still says 2-2-1. Interesting.
Well, this is gonna be fun.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Dragothien, it's been a blast. We hopefully will be able to bring better multi-streams sooner rather than later to the community. I believe.
Well, they're knockout rounds now. There's none of this going to happen any further.
No, sir. And I believe we'll start going towards the official Rise of Kingdoms channel from here on out, if I'm not mistaken. And
we need to get that ironed out. That'll be a thing.
And then from there, you guys will get to enjoy the co-casts of myself, Dragothien, Chiskel Gaming, and maybe other content creators that'll get involved in the process. The one thing I do want to ask out of the community, if possible, is let's try to tone down things a little bit with the cheater and with the cheating and with all that stuff. Let Lilith do what Lilith needs to do, and if they find that there is something to do, they'll do it. And if not, I mean, I understand the people being mad. I understand it, but it doesn't do good to anyone, really.
Yeah, I agree. And just as an update before we kind of together here, on my schedule screen, it has 166 highlighted as the winner at the bottom of Group D. But when I click it, they're both grayed out.
Where is this group real quick?
So Group D.
Oh, yeah. When you click it, they're both 0 and 0. Whoa.
Going past it. Group D.
Whoa. Yeah. Lol. This is
And
actually amusing. It legit. Whoa. Okay.
If you click the shield, yeah, there you go. You have it. So they're both gray. Yeah.
Interesting. And bets haven't come back yet, right? I wonder if bets do go back. Anyone bet on this? You bet on this, right?
I did. Yeah.
Did you get your Oryx back? Nothing?
Nothing yet. And they were pretty instant today.
Ooh. How crazy would it be if Lilith go, well, nobody won, and therefore you guys
all,
lost all your Oryx?
Not only did you lose back, you lost and you got no Oryx back because there was no winner.
Oh my goodness. Oy vey.
All right, this is the world we live in. All right, guys. Gekko, I appreciate you jumping in on the chat with me, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up my stream here.
Same as you, Dragothien. Always a pleasure, my man. And we'll talk probably later too, I guess.
Yeah. We need to get together.
Yes, sir. Take care, man.
All right, buddy.
Later, chat.
Good chat. You got it. Take it easy.
Cheers. So chat, I'm still here. I'm not leaving just yet. We'll wrap things up on this stream in a moment. I just wanted to thank you all for chilling with us on stream today. It was not what we expected. Well, we expected something to happen, but it was not what we thought would happen. I hope you guys did find at least a little bit of information in here, a little bit of the back and forth between me and Dragothien entertaining. After all, for us, our priority is to bring you the best content available in the game. And unfortunately, sometimes these things apparently happen. For better or worse, it is what it is. With that being said, I'm gonna head out of here. You guys have any final questions? We can chill here for a little bit longer while you guys ask anything else that you guys want to know. What happened? Deathstroke. Nobody won. It ended up a 0-0. It ended up a 0-0. They fought in the open field, and that's it. Will there be another match now? I have no clue. No idea. I confirmed something strategy-wise from this. Thank you, Gekko. Sure. Hey, that's better than nothing. At least you got something out of this stream. I have no idea, Lotaro. Tiago, hate all you want, my man. I was casting. And it was a fun cast. We actually got to cast a very, very good match. I believe we casted the folks of TX46 against 89PX. This was a really fun match to cast. And it was very, very good. TX46 had a decent run, but it was very, very good. They made a few tough mistakes that really hurt them long term. It really hurt them long term. That's sort of cool. Both sides followed through. I'm actually very surprised. What about bets? Matt, Jess, I have no clue. Last I saw, that was your stream, UCS testing it. What? Tiago, can say whatever you want, my man. I was casting. Don't look at me. I have nothing to do with that match. Saying game was suspect only to throw against MFLD. Sure. I was casting a match, my man. I don't know what you want from me. I'm impressed that both teams managed to end up with 0 points. I agree. I definitely agree. Season 1 tragedy happened again. I wonder if the rematch or Lilith will be healing speed ups. Last time Lilith difficulties returned to speed ups of Osiris League Season 1. It's a good question. That is a really good question. I'm pretty confident they didn't either, Deathstroke. I really am confident. I'm pretty confident they didn't even know that was a thing. They didn't know that was a thing. Chat, anyone else before we get out of here? What happened with the JWM 2 match if they didn't fight? I have no idea. I was casting. I did not pay attention to that match. I was not involved in that match. I have nothing to do with that match. You were streaming because of the match, so sure, Loopy, if you say so. What's up? What's up, King ZZ? I don't like to seeing such behavior from alliances. If it's part of the strategy and it's something that's allowed in the game, what else can some people use it, others don't. HOF didn't show up for their match at all, and it allowed it gave SW a very strong victory. It does happen. It does happen, unfortunately. When you leave loopholes, people tend to use them in any situation. So playoff quarters will continue next week. Yes, Brooks, unless something happens where Lilith make a decision on any of these matches, then we are continuing as usual. Next week, playoffs rounds of 16. We have the table. We can read the matches really quickly. MFLD against OV, 89PX against C9N, JWM against K90, P245 against V163, BBTH against 166, HKL against 1008, SW against NB2, and UCS against JWM2. Those are the matches that should come up in the round of 16 next week. Yep, we just wait for the mail from Lilith. That's pretty much what there is to do. They really shouldn't show the bracket anymore. I agree, 100%. SNO also got wrecked because of the system. Yes and no. I mean, the fact that the point differentials on that first match was quite substantial, it might have been a different thing if they had the same, if they were playing it for real. Maybe that match would have had a smaller difference between it, maybe. Feel sorry for SNO because of HOF. It sucks, but if it's something that's allowed and it's something that's in the game, some will hate it, others will use it. It is what it is. You'll win in the end, Phantom. You'll win in the end for sure, my man. If not this season, next season, you guys are gonna knock it out of the park. I mean, 1AVG kind of built themselves kind of as Osiris League was going on, right? Dragothien came into the lineup after you guys made it to the playoffs. So hopefully for next season, you guys will have a dank team and you guys will not only make it to playoffs, you'll make it to the top 16 too. I believe. I definitely believe. 245 and 166 are debuggers. It looks like it. They're testing bugs in the system. It seems like they're testing bugs in the system. This is part of the game. It's not cheating. It's not the nicest way to win, but it's legit. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Whether I agree, disagree, like it, don't like it, whatever the heck that means, it's not up to me. It's not up to me. You do what you can do as a person, but I'm not Lilith. I cannot make a decision on this, nor my opinions matter per se, because it's not going to change anything. Lilith needs to make sure they fix this. And it's unfortunate. Can be upset all we want. It doesn't matter now. Yep. Fleish, what's up? Not easy to lose. Were you on the field, Fleish? Fleisch? Am I saying your name all the time wrong? Is it Fleisch or Fleisch? I hear Chisco call you Fleisch, if I'm not mistaken. Am I calling your name wrong this whole time? Osiris League Season 3, yup. Probably we'll see something then that will address this issue. 30 minutes without any points. You say it correct in German? Yeah, I figured. But I hear Chisco say it the other way, so, and he knows you better than I do, so I figured he knew how to use, he said it right. But round of 16 will be bloody. It's going to be super exciting, and we will be casting as many of those matches as humanly possible. Whether it'll be on this channel or on the official Rise of Kingdoms channel, we have not 100% sure of an answer yet, but maybe you guys will be looking forward to see us in the Osiris League official cast for Rise of Kingdoms in the Rise of Kingdoms channel. I think we're gonna switch things up a bit this year. Last year it was a very good attempt. It was something that I cooked in my head for a little while, and the execution of it was much, much, much harder than I thought it would be. It was really, really much harder than I thought it would be. And so this time around, I think things are going to be a little bit different. And hopefully by next week, we'll have more information for you guys. Drop rates from Marauders seem a bit low. I agree. They're showing 166 as winners in the schedule, but they took my coins. They took everybody's coins. They're not showing them unless they all of a sudden show them here as the winners. Nobody won anything here. The schedule shows one the winner, but if you click on it, then you'll see that even though it says one is the winner, when you click on it, they're both grayed out. So nobody won. So we're going to have to wait for Lilith to wake up, and then they'll be like, what do we do? The drop rate is so bad now. I agree. So when will you wear a tie again? I didn't wear a tie that time. I wore a jacket, and you guys freaked out. You guys freaked out that I wore a jacket. And I love wearing formal clothes. I like dressing up. You guys did not like that at all. So I went back to t-shirt, polo, and hat. But I don't think we'll be doing that this season, Wolfie. I don't think we'll be doing that this season. Don't do that again. Lol. You looked classy. Formal looks cool. I like formal. I love it. I do really like wearing jackets and things like that. I do enjoy it very much. Although dry cleaning is a pain in the butt. And expensive. Well, not that expensive, but when you wear that kind of clothes all day, every day for a couple of weeks, it becomes a very fat bill very quickly. Imagine Lilith said they had enough. They DQ JWM2, P245, 166, while letting 3 unlucky losers proceed instead. That could happen. Nobody knows what the heck they'll do. Nobody knows what the heck they'll do. When's the match starting? Daniel, the match ended. It was a 0-0 for the first time ever. It's marked as winners here, but it's not marked as winners here, and it's not marked as winners in the betting section. Right here. So nobody won. You can see victories and nothing in here. Both sides want to dodge JWM. Can't be a side deal since neither wanted to win. I'm just more impressed at 3.6 billion alliance wanting to dodge JWM. Azura, I wouldn't open that can of worms. I wouldn't open that can of worms. What was the purpose of this match? Both teams wanted to lose. Ahmed, don't make assumptions. Maybe something happened with Ronnie. We don't know. It's better to wait and hear from him than make speculations. That's what I was talking about. Instead of making speculations and coming up with things, let's see. Let him come back, make videos, things like that. Let's see where he went, what happened to him. He might have had something happen to him that you don't know about. All right, chat. It's almost midnight. It is time to go. It was fun while it lasted. I enjoyed co-casting with Dragothien. Make sure you guys go check out his channel as well if you haven't yet. I'm pretty confident you guys know his channel by now. If you don't, make sure you go check out Dragothien Gaming. Really good content creator in Rise of Kingdoms. He's in Kingdom 307 with 1 AVG and a Mad Phantom. And as well as Ghost Train was in here for a little bit from his kingdom. And he's also in Kingdom 93 covering the tip of the spear content in one of the biggest kingdoms in the game, Kingdom 93, who have 2 teams making it to the top 16 this season. Very impressive stuff by them. I don't know though, Rami, how do you connect a content creator to alliances with content creators? Why does one have to do with the other? I was casting all day long. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know why it has content creators have anything to do with this. And that's the crazy part. It's that somehow content creators are to blame for everything, which is, I don't get it. I didn't do anything. I was casting. Don't look at me. And I can say the same thing about Ronnie. You saw Ronnie on the field? No. What do you want from him? Ronnie was not on the field. And so I don't know why you make that connection. Yeah, that's my point. People are looking for reasons to hate regardless. So at this stage, it is what it is. Stop playing dumb. I'm not playing dumb, Loopy. I'm saying I had nothing to do with this. What do you want me to say? I had nothing to do with any of the things that happened today. Not with HOF, not with P245, not with what you guys assume happened in JWM too. I don't know. I stayed away from everything and anything. I went to cast. I told you guys from last week I went to cast, and that's it. And honestly, even if the fact that I don't want to be part of anything of that sort of anything, I'm not playing dumb, my man. I'm just trying to do me and do content. My goal is content for the community, period. That's that's what I do. Friendly Nugget, I have nothing to do with any of this. I have nothing to do with any of this. I have no idea, Jaddy, honestly. I really have no clue. I wanted to cast every single day that it wasn't necessary for me to play. It was fun for me to play. It was necessary for me to play to get to the playoffs. I have a role in the team, and once we made it to the playoffs, I was out. That was from the beginning the idea. It is what it is, Deathstroke. That's completely fine. That's completely fine, my man. You're judging based on things that you didn't even see. You're just making a decision. For me, as soon as we made it to the playoffs, I went into cast. There was 2 matches that I couldn't cast last week that were very, very good because I was playing. So as long as I play my role in the team, 10 out of 10. I don't know either, Matt. I haven't even watched the match. Thank you for streaming it all day, waking up super early. Yeah, man, we woke up at 5. Actually, I didn't sleep. I went to bed after the match. After we casted at 6 a.m., I slept for 2 hours and then worked and then casted again, and it's time to go to sleep. I have no idea, Infamous. I'm not going to get involved in any of that. What happened between P245 and 166? Both sides wanted to lose, I guess, and it ended up a 0-0. Jedi, thank you very much for the £3 super chat. Appreciate you very much. Hold on, you've turned evil again. Here we go again. Hit the like buttons. Drop those likes before you leave. Yeah, what you say won't matter. I agree. Anyway, chat, it's time for me to head out of here. I haven't slept in like almost 2 days. Slept 2 hours last night. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll be back next week for more Osiris League matches, and we'll be casting a bunch of these, and hopefully I'll get to play in the JWM2 match. If not, if my role gets filled by someone else, hell, we'll go back to casting. For all I care, we hit the casts. If we have a responsibility in the team, we play with the team. At this point, time to head out of here. I'm going to go to sleep. I'll see you guys sooner rather than later. Enjoy the rest of your week and take care. Thank you for all your support lately. Thank you for all the likes, the subscriptions, the super chats, the members. We hit an all-time high memberships today. So I appreciate you very much. And yeah, I'll see you sooner rather than later. Peace.